Good afternoon, everybody. It's Dr. Galvin with today's coronavirus update. Before we start the update, I am going to let everybody know I have come to a decision about this debate with Judy Mikovits, and I've decided against doing it, in large part from your input and from input from a lot of friends and colleagues who have reached out to me. I want to thank everybody on Facebook, everybody on YouTube who really not only just said yes, no, do it, don't do it, but actually put down some very logical reasoning why to do it or not do it. And I think it comes down to the fact that I think I agree with everybody that's saying that it's just a way to get more spotlight on this stuff. The science has been pretty thoroughly debunked in terms of masks and diminishing your immune system by staying at home. That science is not really in dispute, and that's really what I would want to talk about. And I think that there's a potential for it to get spun down these conspiracy theory trails that I don't want to engage with. It was going to be live, so so they wouldn't have been able to really re-edit the posts. And honestly, Tim Ray, who is the UI Media founder and the host of the Good Intention Show, we've developed a little bit of a rapport. I really like him, and he was very gracious when I turned him down, and has subsequently invited me to come back to do a different show with another physician talking about general wellness and health in the time of Corona, as opposed to looking at conspiracies and things like that. And I think I'm going to consider that. This actually sounds like much more up my alley with another physician on the panel as well. So thank you very much for your support. The comments, you guys didn't only just say yes or no, but really put extensive comments, and it really helped me come to a conclusion and a decision about it. So that's what we're going to do. Thank you again. Let's get on to the update. As usual, in case, if you're just watching it for the first time, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. You may have to go back and look at a couple of the other videos. I'm Dr. Jeffrey Galvin. I'm a emergency medicine as well as functional medicine physician in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we've been doing updates about the coronavirus on a daily basis since mid-March. We normally start with the numbers, and these numbers are from Johns Hopkins. 4.8 million cases confirmed worldwide, 317,000 deaths, 1.75 million recoveries, 1.5 million cases in the US, 90,000 deaths, 286,000 recoveries. Here locally in North Carolina, 19,000 cases, 661 deaths. We are going to have a little bit of an update today, and one of the things I want to reiterate is this idea that infection requires exposure plus time. And we talked about this not too long ago, that in order to get infected by somebody, you've got to be exposed to the virus, and you need to have a certain amount of time in contact with that person. And so that goes to the fact that probably going to a store or a restaurant to pick up food is a very, very low risk endeavor. And I want to talk a little bit about masks, because I think that in large part has been a sticking point, and people are getting shamed about wearing a mask, not wearing a mask. And let's go back and remember why it is we might wear a mask. And I'm not talking about personal freedom. I'm not talking about things like that. I'm talking about why is it that we might want to wear a mask in public, and when should you wear it and why. Now, part of the Plandemic conspiracy stuff is about, masks are going to hurt you, and there's been studies that you come out that if you wear a mask for an extended period of time, you could get hypoxic, that you get exposed to CO2. So, if you are someone that's going to wear an N95 mask for 8 hours straight, yeah, you could definitely have some health problems related to that. Who would do that? Well, me, working in the emergency department for 8 hours. But I can't stand wearing it. I end up taking it off from time to time because it just drives me crazy. But why would we want to wear one in day-to-day life? Well, the reason is that we're not trying to protect ourselves from getting the virus. It's to protect other people from getting it from us if we might be an asymptomatic carrier. So it's really about being a good citizen, being a good neighbor. And so this is my personal, when I'm out and about, this is what I do. I put that mask on as I walk into the store, and I take it off as I walk out. That's it. I'm not wearing it 24/7. I'm not wearing it outside. My risk of getting the virus from walking outside is minuscule. It's not going to happen. So that's my recommendation. Do it not because someone's telling you to do it, because someone's trying to violate your right. Do it because you want to be a good neighbor. Remember, I think part of the lure of some of these conspiracy theories is that they're trying to give us certainty. This is the way it is. This is what people are holding from you, or this is this is the true reason for this or that. And in point of fact, in medicine, we deal in probability. And we pick treatments based on the probability of them being successful. We aren't 100% in any way. And so, in my mind, if there's a 1% chance of me potentially carrying the virus and giving it to somebody who might be vulnerable and then subsequently might get sick, then I'm willing to take the 10 minutes I'm in that store, I'm willing to wear the mask. For me, if I can reduce that risk by a tiny amount, then that's fine with me. And I think that's the way you need to look at it. You're not going to get CO2 narcosis from wearing a cloth mask for 10 minutes. Is it 100% effective? Probably not. But if it reduces the risk, my feeling is that that's worthwhile. And remember, exposure plus time. And so there's, I did a video about this not too long ago, but there's been some other additional, case reports, including 100 cases from a 4-hour fitness instructor training course in South Korea. That there were 8 infected trainers. They were, exerting themselves, and they infected 100 people. Another thing I think out of South Korea also, 112 cases from dance classes, small groups, 8 to 12 students, but prolonged exposure to somebody who was infected. They had 112 cases across 12 facilities. So those are the things that we're talking about. Close proximity, shut-in spaces, extended periods of time tend to result in infections. There was also, you may have seen the nightclub. They tracked one gentleman who went to 5 different nightclubs to over 100 infections in South Korea also. Now, I'm going to go back to our sort of normal schedule, but I do want to tell you about a couple cool things. On Wednesday at 5 o'clock, we're going to do a Facebook Live panel with myself and a couple other physicians, a couple classmates of mine, and probably another ER doctor from local to here in North Carolina. We've got a family med doctor in Vermont, an ER doctor in Chicago. I'll be on, and I'm going to get 1 or 2 other doctors, and we're just going to do a Q&A, ask whatever questions. If you want to know what things are like in different areas of the country, if we're getting forced to put diagnoses down that we don't think are valid, any questions you want about the virus, we're going to be doing this for about an hour on Wednesday at 5 p.m., and I'll put some more information up there. Also, if you're interested in tuning in, share that please to your friends and family members. I think it's going to be Facebook Live. We may do a YouTube Live at some point. I don't know how to do any of it, so I'm going to try to figure it out. Also, one other thing, one of my partners here in North Carolina where I work, Joe Cruz, tells me that his mother will not listen to him about the virus at all, will only watch this podcast. So, Felicia Cruz, thank you very much. You've got a great boy there in Joe. Love working with him. He's a great ER doctor. And I think that every once in a while you might be able to listen to 1 or 2 things he says. That's from me. You get my thumbs up. And again, thank you for viewing. And one last thing, we're going to bring in... Oh, come here, you. Oh, goodness. People have been wanting an update on Nova. She's getting bigger. And she's now at how many weeks, Ben?
8.
8 or 9 weeks. I'm going to put her back down. Okay, Nova. That's Nova, my son's new German Shepherd puppy, and it's his birthday today, so happy birthday to Ben. As always, wash your hands, take care of yourselves, take care of your families, take care of those around you. Be back tomorrow. Have a great night.